So I've got a little update here, and you are looking at the furthest out from my fence here, that hugel bed I did with the wood chips and the compost, and I was having some issues with it drying out too quick. It absorbed a ton of water, but you get it out in the sun a couple days and that top layer of compost would just dry out, and I was having to water too much. Now the wood chips, the base inside, about 3 inches, 4 inches in, was staying moist. You could dig the top up and it was nice and wet down underneath there. So what I did, this big field out here, it gets mowed. I just went out and raked up a bunch of the dead grass and mulched this very heavily with it. I've used grass in the garden before. It's kind of, let it dry out like this, and it's just basically like using straw. This field is not sprayed with anything, no fertilizer, no chemicals. Real good polyculture out there of different grasses and weeds and dandelions and plantain and clover and just a whole bunch of different stuff out there. So it's a nice mix. Right here, the corn. I actually did have to get some fertilizer. Corn was looking like it needed a little help in there. So I just got some organic all-purpose fertilizer and threw down on these beds. Onions are coming up real nice. Over here, this row of onions, looking real good. Basically what I did is I put 3 rows of onions in there, and there's white, red, and yellow onions, just 3 rows of each. This bed here is coming along good. Beans are coming up nice. They were getting hit by some kind of insect, getting tore up a little bit, so I threw down some diatomaceous earth, and I'm just going to let that sit on there for a couple days. That usually does the trick, and I'll water it all in. In the center, the potatoes are coming up. What I'm going to do is this basically valley right here. When those potatoes start coming up, I will just fill that whole center in, just basically hill the potatoes in. So I'll just fill it all in, and that'll be level, and when it's done, just loaded with potatoes. That's what I've got to do over here in the potato bin. These things are going nuts. I've got to start filling that up with wood chips. But anyways, things are going pretty good. And I'm going to cut away here and show you something else that I figured out today. It's pretty ingenious. So, several loads of free coffee grounds that I've got from a coffee house had the huge filters in it. So I'd have to dig through the coffee grounds and pull all the filters out. Well, today I was digging through a big bag of them and just had this ingenious idea to use them as a weed barrier / mulch ring, basically. These are huge. You can tell these pots are really big. I actually planted corn in these pots just to play around with it, and then once the corn comes up, I'll plant climbing beans around it. I just thought it'd be kind of neat to do. But anyways, I just cut a hole in the center. I have 6 layers of these coffee filters, and that'll keep the moisture in, keep the weeds from coming up. I bet you anything you could just throw those down on the dirt, cut a hole in the center, keep the weeds away from the plant in that ring, and I say that's probably close to 14 inches around. So anyways, that is something you could do if you get coffee filters in your bags, coffee grounds in the coffee houses. Just save them and use them to put around your plants. And then out here, cover crop is coming up like crazy in some areas. Those radishes are just crazy. I mean, this thing is nuts, and they're getting ready to flower. And I guess once I go to seed, I'll just come through and cut all that stuff down put it right back down to the ground, chop and drop it. It's looking good. These mounds have sunk down quite a bit since I started. This fall I'll probably put a good 2-3 inch layer of compost on top of everything, and then cover crop it with a winter cover crop of some kind. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to use. I'll figure that out later. But anyways, little progress. That's what's going on. Thanks for watching.